Okay, so it's running. So let me bring up.
In a progression, it's irritating.
Oh, I don't know. It's kind of fun.
It's a good idea to have that one too. Some of these don't have, oh wait. Oops. That's right, we made all these extra tables. What's in this roll?
Give me a second. Oh,
We can go to the IT services, the IT office.
except there's nobody there. Let me go.
Still? I thought I have two connectors. That's weird.
Oh, there's some paper in there. Did it print? Okay. Did you have any luck printing?
It might be.
Well, there was paper in there, though. That's what I don't understand.
Maybe it needed like.
It gets down to about that much and then it's more.
Huh. That means that there's the sensor there is bad, probably. Oh, no problem. It is pretty. I saw that the other day. I think this is totally irrelevant to what we're going to do, but I think Microsoft is, you know, they have these pictures and then they ask you if you like what you see or not.
Oh.
I think they're trying to do some in terms of just these pictures.
The pictures, the software.
The pictures. So, well, I think what they're testing is some of their, you know, like with like where you go to Amazon and things like that, and when you buy something, they come back and say, other people bought this, and we're also suggesting this, right? It's a fairly complicated algorithm where it compares what you buy or whatever, which I get really ridiculous things because my whole family uses my Amazon Prime account, so, you know, I don't buy bras. Things like that, you know, but it has got to be a bit confused about the different.
Sequel.
Yeah.
But I think that they're kind of doing that with these pictures. I think they're just testing and training their software.
To like that,
right
or
there,
like this screensaver, you'll probably like this app.
Yeah.
Yes, he's sending you apps.
It keeps sending you pictures, and it probably tries to focus on. If you seem to like landscapes, it's going to focus more on landscapes. If you like the Art Deco kind, it'll start to send you more Art Deco kinds. And again, I think it's mostly just to train. They're trying to learn, train their software, you know, and develop it so that they can get better algorithms for testing people's preferences. That's my guess. I don't know that.
resources. When they're starving people in the world.
Yeah, well, there's always that.
But that's more important than what background do people like.
Almost anything's more important.
Especially that.
Bill Gates' defense.
Oh, not, he's done lots.
Yeah.
No. He's gotta make his business grow, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how much he has to do with Microsoft anymore, actually. I think he's still on the board of trustees. I'm sure he is.
Are we doing the maintenance?
Yeah, we're going to do maintenance plans. The other thing I wanted to look at real quickly is a couple of wrong class. Let's go back to the right class. All right, so assignments. So we're going to do the maintenance plans. And the other thing I wanted to look at real quickly was the presentation. And I'm pretty sure this is a group project, and I want to give you some time today after we do the maintenance plans to let you guys start thinking about groups. And I believe that I set these up so that you can assign yourself to your groups, and I don't have to do it. I may be wrong about that, but I believe that's how I set it up. So let's look at first at the maintenance plans. May need to zoom a little bit. Let me kill the tables on these. Is that too small
Okay.
for the back? Is it? Everybody okay? All right, so one of the first things we have to do if we're going to do maintenance plans is we need to enable the SQL Server agent. The SQL Server agent is what schedules things, right? So all you have to do is right-click on it and say start. It's actually another server, and it will run as a service in the background. So I'm just going to say yes, and it will ask me like three times before it starts, but it will start.
It allows, what did you say?
What?
It allows.
Oh, it's what it does is it schedules actions. So if you want to automate things, you have to have the SQL Server agent running.
Allows scheduling.
Yeah. Now it's off by default because it takes resources, and it can be a security thing. One of the best practices with that we didn't do is that it should probably run under a different account than the database. All right, so we have our data, where the current user is the system administrator in the database. There should be a separate account for the SQL Server agent that doesn't have admin privileges, but enough for it to run. Yeah.
My SQL Server agent is disabled.
Right, that's what I was just showing.
Oh, sorry.
So what you need to do is right-click on it
Right click on it.
and choose start. My start is started it. You can also stop it there.
Say yes.
There's a whole level that I haven't covered here. For all of these, you can start PowerShell. And you can actually do everything that we're doing in the GUI with PowerShell. So it's just that there's a learning curve attached to that beyond. All right, so once you've got the SQL Server agent, everybody got it? You're still coming back in. Did you send off your thing? Okay, good luck. So, under management, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. There's policy management, which we might play at. I don't think I made an assignment about it, but we could look at it at some point. There's data collection, resource governor, which we'll play with, extended events, which we'll play with, managed backup, maintenance logs, or maintenance plans, which is what we're going to do today. There's logs, there's database mail. We'll look at a lot of these, but these are a lot of tools for managing the databases. What? Oh, okay. So I'm going to do maintenance plans, and when I click on that, nothing happens because there's nothing there. So I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to do it manually first, and then I'll show you the wizard. So I'm going to right-click on maintenance plans, and I'm going to say new maintenance plan. There's also a wizard, as I said, which is actually makes it very easy, but it creates
It's also our
it.
assignment. Yeah.
Did it say to use the wizard? I'm going to do it manually first anyway. Then I'll do the wizard. So I'm going to just click on that. And I need to give it a name. Yeah, let's do something with Community Assist. Community Assist. Well, I'm just going to call it maintenance. Maintenance plan. It's not crucial that you name it. What do I name it? I'm just tying my shoe. I keep stepping. Nylon strings. Yes.
You just need Velcro.
I need new shoes. These are getting pretty rotten. So anyway, I'm going to do OK. Something should happen.
It took a little bit.
All right, I'm going to move this over. The reason I'm going to do it manually is that I think it makes the wizard make more sense. So you have, right now we just have a subplan. These can get really complicated, but ours is going to be quite simple. We could rename it if we want. It's not scheduled right now. Everything we do in this designer will be part of the subplan, right? And then you could add another subplan and it would have another designer. It's a lot like the brain gun, a lot like the SSIS designer. Notice we've also, there's a toolbox over here. If you don't have it, you should be able to get it from view. And when I click on the toolbox, and I'm going to pin it, yeah, I'm going to unpin the Object Explorer. It has some tools, not a whole bunch, but it has some tools. There's a backup database task, which we're going to do. Check database integrity, execute SQL Server agent task, which we don't have. We can do just SQL. You can do a cleanup the history, maintenance cleanup, notify operator, rebuild index, reorganize index, shrink database, update statistics. We're going to do a couple of those. Later we'll focus on the SQL Server agent more. I'll show you how to create operators and alerts and things like that. The kind of things that can annoy you if you're a database administrator, where they send you messages when things don't go well. So I am going to drag, let's do a rebuild index task for no good reason. Okay. So what it does is it brings this box on here. Notice it says select one or more databases, tables and views, and etc. The way to edit these in the manual is to right-click on them and do edit. I do not know why in the SSIS designer it's a double-click to open them. Here it's right-click and edit. Double-clicking doesn't seem to open them.
It did for me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Maybe I was just double-clicking badly the other day. Let me see if it. So double-clicking also opens it. Why wasn't it doing that for me? Okay, so we need to select a database anyway, and we'll just do Community Assist. And I think we can just leave this as default. It's going to do tables and views. And what it'll do is any indexes that exist, it'll go through and rebuild them. So it's a good way. One of the things that you can do, if I told you that indexes slow down inserts and updates, so you can tell it not to rebuild the indexes, right, while it's doing inserts and updates, and then you can periodically rebuild them. So it depends whether that's a good idea or not, depends on how often those tables are queried. Does that make sense? It's a balance between.
If you don't rebuild the indexes, how are you going to locate new records?
You need to rebuild them fairly often, but you don't have to rebuild them like when there's a bulk insert or something. In fact, sometimes they you might do this in conjunction with another task. Typically, they turn the indexes off, or so where you're basically bringing in hundreds of records from a file or something, or from another thing, and then after the insert, they redo the indexes. Does that make sense?
What I was getting at was if you're doing like periodic tiny inserts on an incredibly
Right,
large
I
table.
know. So if it's, I said it's something you have to judge. I think it would still find it, because I think if it can't use the index to find that particular record, it'll just go back to the old search technique.
Full tables, yeah.
Yeah.
How do I get the special data basics? Basic.
By choosing the database?
The drop-down menu, we don't have it.
I just chose Community Assist.
Oh, okay. So not basic.
And what it comes back with is specific databases. Now, if you wanted to, this is going to do all tables and views, but you could select a particular table or particular tables to do this on. So if you want to do it with, I don't know that I have any indexes built in here, do I? So I'm going to do just tape all objects. Well, actually all objects. Tables and views, that's what I'm going to do, the default. So I'm going to just do, and actually if you do view TSQL, it gives you the SQL for doing this. This is something you don't have to do. It's just a just gives you the SQL if you want to see it. So I'm going to do OK for that.
How do you get that VTSQL? Did you have to change it to tables and views? I just wasn't looking up. Oh, right down there. Okay.
Oh yes, view TS. Yeah. I was trying to remember where I got it. So let's do. So we did this. Let's do check database integrity. I just want a couple of tasks here. I'm going to do this. This is this green arrow is for sequence, right? So it's going to do this, and then it's going to do this. Again, if you double click or right click and do edit, so whether you want to do this on, you just want to do it on this one database.
So we have to add that check database integrity.
Yeah, I just added that. And then I'm going to just do OK. And then the last thing I'll do is a backup. Yeah, so I'm going to do a backup. I just wanted to put a few things in here. Backup database task. Double click it. And again, we'll do just the Community Assist database. And for the destination, I don't want to go to the default. I want to go to, I made that backups folder. I'm going to go there. This is a kind of a neat option. Create a subdirectory for each database. So you can use the same folder, I mean the backup folder, but it'll create another folder for each database. So I'm going to tell it to do that. And I'm just going, again, if you want to, you can view the sequel. But I'm just going to do OK. And that's actually all the tasks I want to do for right now.
Was it backup MA? Do you recall?
The what? Say again.
I'm just trying to remember if it was.
Oh,
I'm just not sure which backup. It was just in backup.
I just had a backup folder on C. I don't know if you guys.
I did. I think it was called back. I'm just trying to see what it was called backup. Underscore MA.
That might be Metro Alt, right? Underscore Metro Alt is probably what you're doing. You could use that same folder. And if you do that check box where it says,
The sub.
yeah, it'll create another directory under it.
I feel like it just says backup. Then I can't just find the folder that says backup.
I'm going to save this. We'll apply a schedule to it in a minute, but first I'm going to just run it. So I'm going to bring out the Object Explorer. I'm going to do refresh. And when I open it up now, you'll see that there is a maintenance plan underneath here. You have to save it first. So I went up to the disk to save it. And then I came here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it. Just manually run it, and then I'll show you how to schedule it. Hopefully the schedule will work. Sure. So I just saved it. And then over in the Explorer under Maintenance Plans, you have to refresh or you won't see it. So I'm going to right-click on it. And one of the things that you have as an option here is Execute. So you can manually execute them.
That's weird.
You don't have access, permission to access it?
No idea. I just realized what this here was. That was the one.
Yeah, that's the same place. Yeah.
See.
So then I right-clicked on it and it shows execute. So mine says it succeeded. You can look at a little report. So let's view the report. It just says it succeeded. Not a very exciting report. I'm going to close this. The other thing I want to do is I'm going to right-click on it. I'm going to view history. And when I view the history, it tells me that what time it ran, the name of it, the subplan that it ran. And if I expand this a little or scroll through here, task name, duration, which was 3/100ths of a second or 3 milliseconds. Maintenance plans, local source, but it basically said that it ran. The check mark means that it's good. If I click on that, it gives me the different pieces of the maintenance plan with a check mark under each of those. So the way I got here, if you are lost, is I right-clicked and I did view history. And this is a way you can tell if a job ran or not, right? If it doesn't have a check mark, it will have a red exclamation point for failure. Does that make sense? So let's try to schedule it. And then we'll do the wizard. As I said, this isn't hard. It won't take very long. So today you can, after this, you can work on the,
Video.
well, on the groups to some extent.
Forget how to execute.
You right-click on it.
Right click on it. The maintenance plans.
Yeah, so you open maintenance plans. You might have to.
But I don't have that.
So plus, Do you have this plan underneath there?
Might need to refresh.
You might need to refresh.
I just got minimize this.
You have to refresh at the level of the folder. There's a refresh up here
There you go.
Got it.
that does you no good at all. It doesn't refresh the folders. It only refreshes the folder that you're in. So you have to refresh at this level. Do not know why.
Something interesting I just found out while trying to intentionally break my task. The backup database task will try to back up to a folder that doesn't actually exist on a drive that doesn't exist,
Oh,
and it will succeed.
it will succeed?
Yes,
I wonder what, we could look at the error trapping. I didn't look at that.
it didn't say any error whatsoever. It says it succeeded.
It's called magic.
I don't have that drive.
Maybe it just backed up to the cloud or something.
So mine backed it assist folder now, and it backed it up, and it actually gave it a date, which is not a bad idea in the name. I've never tried to give it a non-drive. Let's look at the backup task. Options. Expiration, copy only backup, verify backup integrity. I don't see an error thing on this. I was looking to see if there's a place that says ignore errors or something. It should have failed though.
You know what? I didn't save it.
See if it fails after you save it.
It says still.
All right, let me see something here. You've made me curious. So I know that this C stuff doesn't exist as a folder. But
Okay,
how?
now it failed. I forgot to change it back to the non-existent folder.
Oh, okay. I just couldn't imagine that it would succeed on a bad folder.
You being idiot, not actually updating. Nothing to see very on.
All right, so let's set up a schedule. So calendar control, right over here, on demand. It will give you some options for scheduling this. So right now it's recurring. You could make it a one only, or you can do a recurring. It's weekly. It wants to do it at Sunday at midnight. So let's, should we leave it weekly? Today is Tuesday. And so let's go into the PM. 1:38. Do it day. Show it. And let's see if it'll run in 2 minutes. I've done these at 5 minutes, but it's amazing how long it can be trying to wait 5 minutes.
It's a good
Meditation, right?
Make yourself a bag of popcorn while you wait.
Yeah.
Gee, thanks. Now I won't talk more.
My dad is getting a new microwave. I have to figure out how long to put popcorn all over again. It was was always a solid 2 minutes.
So at 1:37, even 2 minutes is a long time to wait. I was just afraid if I did it too quickly, like 1 minute, I'd be messing around and time would pass. So after it gets to 1:38, we'll go and see if it ran.
Okay.
I just realized when I did it at home, it didn't run, and I think it's because I left it in the AM. And I turned it in the PM.
So much.
And then we'll do a wizard, and then as I said, I'll give you some time, and then we'll talk about the project, not the project, but the presentation. Okay, so that's 1:38. I'm going to go over here, right click, and I just, again, view history. Did it run?
Do we have to refresh you?
Did I save it? Thought I saved it all. No, it's not saved, so it probably didn't run for that reason.
What's not saved? Oh, the,
So I'm going to set it to 1:39 and save again.
where's the save? Oh, here.
Just a little disk up there.
Save.
Because I think it was a sort of similar to your thing. All right. If it didn't, what was it? View history. Yes, see, it ran now. It ran. It ran at 1:39. It was just that I hadn't saved it before. So the thing is, if you go into the schedule of these, I'll show you that a little bit more, and then we'll do the wizard real quickly, and then, as I said, we'll do you have lots of options here in terms of when you want it to run, how often you want it to occur. So it's going to be weekly. Actually, this looks like it's going to recur every week. Recurs once. Actually, we probably want it to be occurs every. Except I don't want to necessarily do that. The start date is today. It has no end date. It occurs every week on Tuesday, Sunday at 1:39 p.m. Okay, so it tells you what it's going to do. And things like backups, you want to automate as much as possible. There's some other things I'll show you later, not today, but like one of the typical things that you would get a message for is if this fails, right? So you'd want to know if it failed. You can also get a message if it succeeds, but that could be kind of annoying, just constantly getting messages that things are doing okay. I suppose if you're really paranoid, that might be a good thing. All right. Questions on that? That's making it by hand. And again, the thing that we're leaving out of this is that you'd probably want to spend a lot of time planning your maintenance. What is it that you really want to do? What is it that you want to occur? What sequence do you want it to occur in? What kind of, you might have several sub-plans to this. I mean, so you'd create a big, more complex plan to take care of all the stuff you want to automate on a regular basis. You might have to have several plans if what they're doing and their timing is different enough. Does that make sense? So let's do the wizard. I'm just going to close this. And same thing, you right click on here, but instead of doing the maintenance plan, you do the wizard. And then I'm going to click on the wizard. You always get this starting page, which is nothing except saying what's going to happen. Is this big enough or do you need it zoomed? Correct? Okay, let me try to zoom. All right, so we can give this a name. What do we want to call it? Maintenance, community assist maintenance plan 2, or we could do some other.
That'd be an awesome sequel.
What?
It'll be an awesome sequel.
Yeah. A single schedule for the entire plan, or you can have separate schedules for each task too, but I'm sure we could have done. So, of all those things that were in the toolbox, so I'm going to check the data. Let's the indexes. Let's update the statistics. Let's back up the database. We have a full. So tasks. Toolbox, could have pulled them over from the toolbox on the designer.
Could you do single schedule or
No, but you could do complicated.
No.
Okay.
and what did you choose? Sorry, I was paying attention.
Integrity, rebuild index, update statistics. To a certain extent, this doesn't matter because we're not.
Yeah.
I just wanted a series of tasks. Now, this is what this does is it gives you the ability to move these around in a different order if you want. For instance, backup database does make sense as the last thing because after we're going to check the intent that there's no violations of the key, foreign key things. It'll do some other things. It'll make sure that the data tables are all built correctly. You know, the indexes are built according to the plan, that there's no, just to make sure that everything's okay in the file, basically. The update statistics will go through, and I can show you the statistics. I will show you that when we do some reporting and stuff. But remember the statistics we got in the query? That's part of it. You know, how many milliseconds does this take? How much space does it? Yeah.
Wouldn't you want the top and then to check everything?
I think actually I'd wanted everything checked and then back it up.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But you know, you could think about, you know, you could, there could be logical reasons to rearrange them too. So.
Well, the fact you're thinking about them in the first place is good.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you should, I mean, as I said, the thing we're not doing with this is I'm just showing you how to use the tool. I'm not showing you how to think about it because you'd really want to think about what it is you want to do with your database. I'm going to do next. And so you can do this with all of your databases, or we can do it with, again, I'm going to do it with Community Assist. Employee partition would be interesting in a way because we have multiple files there. But so I'm going to do next. So then it goes through these different things. Rebuild index task. Again, we choose a database. And it'll just give you the default free space per page. I don't know why you just told you is that 1 kilo box. Every row is in. No row can be bigger than that 1 kilo. If you were to change the free space, there's a certain amount of free space that's always allocated. Change that. figure that out. Either would be like. So I'm going to do next. This is the update statistics, and again, we'll just do community assist. And this will do all existing, and it'll do a full scan to get all those statistics, which you may not want to do if it's really big and you have a lot. And then the backup. So we'll do community assist, and okay. With the destination, again, I'm going to go to backups. I'm going to do the create a subfolder for each database. I'm wondering what it'll do when there's already one there. Since it's already there.
I'm not sure correctly. I can say up and down, up and down.
So what I did is I just chose, I have a file, community backups, community assist from last time. So I'm just going to use that same folder. This is in the destination. So I did general, where I just said specific database, which was community assist. Destination, I just picked the one that I had already. And I just was looking at options. You can verify your integrity. You can encrypt your backup. And you can set an expiration date for it. None of which I'm going to do.
Did you do the create subdirectory?
I unchecked it because there is a subdirectory there already. You can write the report to a text file, and it's going to go to.
Interesting.
So if I wanted it, do I have a temp file on here? I don't. I could put it in the backup folder. Notice it can email the report too. So these are the things that it's going to do: create the maintenance plan, define database, define rebuild index tags, define update statistics. It's done all of these. And we can do finish.
It almost seems like the other way was like singular.
Yeah. I actually almost prefer it the other way too. So we got community assist plan 2. Now it didn't put it on, so if I right click on it and say modify, it puts it out here, right? Just like the way it was before. And we can schedule it.
Where did you click on that?
All right, so to get this to show, I just, in the Object Explorer, right clicked on the new one and did modify. And then you can go through and you can change anything you want about these. And you can also schedule them. The wizard doesn't schedule them. So today is Tuesday. And it is sometime 1:51. So I will do this at probably 1:52 now. Still do it at 1:54.
57.
Save.
Yeah, and then I'm going to save it. And then it should run. So if you don't like the wizard, I mean, you could build this by hand for sure. I'm going to unzoom. So I have 1 minute to wait. And then this is basically, as I said, all this there is to the maintenance plans, other than the more logical part, which is figuring out what it is you should actually do in them.
For the assignment, we don't even have to schedule it. All you want is the completion of the wizard.
It needs
Yeah.
to be scheduled at 2:30 every day.
Did I put that in the assignment
How do
too?
you do that from the wizard then?
Well, so after the wizard, you have to open it like
You
I just
modify it, and
did.
then you can
Modify.
You can
change
actually
it.
do it in the wizard.
Can you?
Yes.
Was there a button I didn't look at?
Yeah, I managed to do it. So, yeah.
Doesn't matter, I guess, either way, right?
Yeah, either way, I mean, I think there is a thing when you first come on in the schedule where you can click on the schedule to schedule it. I have a vague memory of that. I think the last time I ran this was, well, I did it this weekend to refresh myself, but I probably haven't run it since last summer. All right, so it says 153, so I'm going to right click, view history. It's not there. I don't know if refresh will do it.
Want the differential or full backup for the differential is the difference between before and now.
Yeah,
For the-
differential, I could only do the differential because I did a full one before with the other task.
No, I'm saying for our assignment.
Oh, I know what. So it's 1:54 p.m. That should work. Why did it not work? Tuesday, Saturday.
Why not? Did you save? Yeah.
I thought I did. So it should run. If it doesn't, I'm not going to spend too much time on trying to debug it. Did I set it for 54 or 55? There's some other things you can look at. So there's history. There are reports. I guess it's mostly the history that we want. Yes, it's run twice now, actually. And if I do that, we see 4. So it ran twice. No, it only ran once. The other one ran.
So when you view history, it's for all of your maintenance plans.
Well, so when you do history, so I just view history, it first comes up with just this one, which it did run twice.
Oh,
And then if you check this box, it has all of them. I'm going to show you something else that I don't think is part of any assignment. It'll only take a couple minutes. I'm going to right-click on database and do reports. Actually, it only has custom reports. So let's do a particular. Let's do community assist, right-click, reports, standard reports. So there are built in a bunch of reports here. You can make your own reports too. But, so let's look at disk usage by table, or so let's do disk usage actually by partition won't be meaningful at all. It would be for the other one. If I do employee partition reports, standard reports, well, let's do just that one might actually make some sense for partitions. So it shows the partitions that we have, how many records are on each one, how much is reserved and the usage in kilobytes for each of the partitions. That's a built-in report. I'm going to go back up to Community Assist, reports, standard reports. I'm just looking to see what could be of use. Backup and restore events, we've had a couple of those. And it gives, again, some information. So there's some built-in reports here. Successful backups, let's just do that. And it gives me a list of all the backups that have been done. So you just do reports, standard reports, and there's lots of them. Custom reports are reports that you make. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that would be of interest to some of these. This one, this is the server dashboard. So this one, you know, in terms of CPU usage, logical usage, lots of different things. I clicked on the server, standard reports, and then I just did the top one, server dashboard.
Only the
What? Those are just plan usage is happening
Right for community.
on server. So at the very top level. Some of them I did on Community Assist. And then reports,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So, I mean, as I said, you might look at some of those other reports at some point. They can help with your maintenance in the sense that you would be maybe using them to help you plan what needs to be done. So the assignment, as I said, just do the wizard, or if you prefer not to use the wizard, whatever, build up a maintenance plan, a simple one.
For what to turn in. I mean, it was just,
That looks fine.
it just showed the 230.
Sure. That looks fine.
And if I just upload, you can tell it's from you without me putting my name on it.
Sure, if you upload it under your account, it'll be there
Yeah.
by your name. Yeah.
What's the difference between operational statistics and usage statistics?
Sure. Okay. Shows details of the operations performed by the indexes. Shows the usage of it. So it's how often it's been used, and the other one might be what the. I'm actually not sure.
The efficiency of the indexes.
efficiency
Yeah.
might be.
It just
Yeah.
isn't.
So for the this assignment, it says reception.
Did I say to do maintenance plans as a group?
Yeah.
No, but it's
Go ahead and upload them. We haven't made the groups. We will for the presentations, and we might for the next assignment. Yeah. Which we're not going to do today, but. I didn't think I set this one as a group
Yeah,
assignment.
It's definitely group.
You said at least one other.
Well, so the
Yeah.
extent And that one I want you to kind of figure out on your own. I think will be a little bit one. And then the presentation one for sure. There might be another group. There's a couple of other. I didn't remember making. I just when I was thinking of these as what might be fun to work on together, which you're welcome to do if you want. But if you want to, I mean, it's not a whole thing. Individual. Now the presentation I want you to do group. Look at the presentation real quickly. And I think you can self-choose your groups. This we're not going to actually do the presentation until the end, near the end of the quarter. And I should do this student view, I suppose. Student view has the advantage that it shows the whole assignment. Why did that go away? It has a disadvantage. You might have to go down a little bit. I just want you to start thinking about it so that in Slack times, this is too big. And that's probably too small. So the presentation, we talked about it a little bit. It's just a group project, no more than 4 people in a group ideally. And it's about a database topic, and I think about 10 minutes. Don't go on and on and on. I mean, you can, I suppose, but no more than 20, I said. 10 is fine, no more than 20. You can use PowerPoint or not. You can use whatever you want to use to do this. These are a list of suggested topics, but you're not limited to those. So I guess what I would want you to figure out today after you do your maintenance plan is who you might want to work with. And I think the minimum size of a group would be a pair and the maximum size 4. Okay. There's the database job market. I mean, that's a topic you can choose if you want. I don't know about multiple groups choosing the same topic. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. It's possible to get 2 very different reports out of the same topic. Oracle, if you're interested in Oracle, because we haven't touched on Oracle. We've done everything SQL Server here. NoSQL, you know, like I did that little bit of Mongo that you can look at. And there's a lot of others. There's DynamoDB from Amazon. There's Facebook has a NoSQL database that's free. There's a lot of them you can do. Big database tools that could include things like Hadoop, but it also, you know, the analytic tools and what's involved. These don't have, each of these topics can take a quarter to talk about. I'm just wanting a summary, you know, and what you might, maybe what you find interesting about it. And again, you don't have to do these topics if you have something else. Web services as they relate to databases. That'd be kind of like what we did in ITC226712, except that it could also be PHP or Java services, things like that, REST services. The SQL Server certification exams, if you're interested in those. Cloud databases, basically how do you manage a database on the cloud at AWS or Azure or somewhere. Device databases like SQLite, so the ones that are on your phone, right? So every Android phone, in fact, every iOS phone and every Windows phone has SQLite on it. It's a really tiny database that will do most, not everything a full SQL database will do most of it. And it's actually where most of your stuff is stored on your device. There's some stuff that's stored in Client, but a lot of it's stored in SQL. Like, it's a good question. I don't know. I'll ask Lisa. We are sort of a testing center, but we haven't officially advertised it or expanded it because we've got like one machine. You know, and in order to be a Microsoft testing, the machines have to meet certain standards. They have to have no internet access. They need to be in a place that can be proctored. Yeah, I mean, with one machine, it's probably doable for us if they're offering those exams. They do cost money. They're like 175 each, I think. You might get a discount through the school here. I will ask Lisa about that, though. Now, you're not limited to these. If you have other database topics you want to, well, I said I think somewhere open source databases. That would be like MySQL, Postgres. What is the MySQL, Mary? Is it Mary? What? Maria. AR or something. You could do some of those. So, you know, if you have other topics, I will cover any of these topics that nobody chooses. So I'll do a little report on anything that nobody chooses up there. So after you do your thing, if you guys get if you can tell me, I'm pretty sure I set it up so you can choose your own groups. Not sure how that works, but that's the checkbox I chose. Self-choose groups. And tell me kind of what database topic you're thinking about. We have, this is what, our third week? 5 weeks left. So I will try to give you some time to work on this, like this. Got about an hour sometime now I'm getting to do. This is one thing you could do if you have to out of class because it's just mostly internet search, right? Yeah.
If anybody wants to do big data, I would like to do it. And there's actually a big data boot camp going on right now in
I think I
Redmond.
saw that, yeah.
Yeah, it's happening until what, the 15th, so potentially.
And you're interested in data analytics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so anybody wants to work with Dan on big data? We'll see. Well, somebody will. I'm sure somebody will. You guys okay now? It's hot in here. Or is that just me?
It's kind of hard.
It feels a little bit more than normal.
Yeah, it's hot. It's not quite 80. It has got there before. I felt that. Okay, so that's the plan for the day. And then if you need help with maintenance plans or other stuff. And then I'll also, as I said, I might probably in the morning next. Yeah, Thursday morning. I lose track of days, and I've only got 2 to follow. I will help a little bit with the, and then open lab time. Yeah.
Are you going to, or have you already done database snapshots?
Yes, we did those. The code is on the blog.
We're doing open lab on Thursday for this class after you help with queries.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
If anybody, there are a few people
I've
that need it.
never
I just
gone.
want to give
I've
them a
never
chance.
asked for any classes.
Yes, you were here. You just must have been dreaming and daydreaming or something.
No, I was working on other assignments.
But the code for the snapshot is quite easy, and it's on the blog.
Sure. Well, I mean, like, what do you want to do? Like, I don't. I'm used to there
We
being.
want
a
to come
link
with a
on
cloud
these
database. I'm not.
So the blog is on the, if you don't have a generic link, you can just go to
things.
the syllabus.
Topic I want to do without forgetting about it. So, if you really wanted to do those, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you think that'd be a good
Speaks of
topic
the
for me to
direction.
choose if I'm really interested in data analytics?
What might.
Big top, that is a good one. I've been reading about data analytics how do you like math?
I love it. I'm great at it.
Good, because it's a key part of.
I got A pluses in all my classes here, except for one.
The I was reading a lot of data analytics. Also, they were talking about it in terms of artificial intelligence too.
Whoa.
But the math they said was so statistics.
Yeah, that's
Well,
the one.
Also, they were saying linear algebra is useful
Okay.
and differential calculus.
Which one?
Differential AI stuff.
Differential calculus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for the artificial intelligence stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a lot of math, actually. But so if you like math, that's good.
What leads into differential calculus?
Mostly the artificial intelligence stuff and the neural net learning stuff.
You mean what math comes before?
No, well, you mean what math or what in the topic is related?
What?
So algebra. I'm not
You
sure.
have to do usually till 1 and 2.
Yeah, they usually do a pre-calc, which my daughter said that she hated pre-calc, and calculus was much easier than pre-calc.
Pre-calc is nothing like calculus, it's just functions. Pre-calculus is functions.
Right.
It's an even-
She said that the pre-calc was a lot harder than the.
If you like, so the way I did it in college was like we do 3 Q.
They
Call it what you want.
typically they usually have you do something like trig or advanced
Like
algebra before you go into the.
Calculus?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's given that you already have all that.
Yeah,
College, I'm saying
I've
is
read, and I'm no expert.
Without the trig?
I think you have a view of the function of calculus if you go into it without understanding stuff. You could do it.
So if I'm thinking that is
I'm still trying to figure out that damn. Hey, John?
Sure. Well, you could do.
Because they all
Okay.
I think it was mostly that somebody was arguing you could do calculus rather than algebra, that you didn't have to have the algebra to do calculus.
You do, because once you start getting into sine and cosine functions, I mean, you have to understand, you have to remember algebra is like underpinnings.
Well, an algebra is
Especially if you do like integrals like in calculus, they're really long, and by the time you get halfway down, this last part is all just algebraic.
yeah. So,
It used to be called trigonometry.
yeah.
Trigonometric function.
I did trig for work when we were surveying. So, but it was a limited subset of trig. It was basically just finding distance based on angles, based a lot of Pythagorean theorem. Because you just turn the angles, but you have to turn it into a straight line. Physically on the ground and stuff. Okay.
What do I do?
So you should be able to let me know if you can just sign up the group. And then we can send the
Why can I not figure this out?
emails. So if you go to the assignment, can you sign up for the group or just how do you do it? Then from synopsis, because it doesn't seem to be letting. to that. I would suggest not killing it. Yeah, I think a load is gonna
At least 5 minutes.
give it a 2 minutes. Kill it, choke it, because it might corrupt it. I'm not sure why it takes so long to restore.
I found that in terms of imagery, they will deadlock like that.
Right, right.
Is there a way out?
Really?
No,
You just gotta.
no, basically waiting up.
Okay.
It's just, I know it's a pain, but it could be more of a pain after we remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, already had one person with their portion they got on track, but still.
Yeah, I saw David, I was gonna ask him about that machine.
He's at 83 right now.
It just doesn't make sense.
Was there ever a resolution?
Apparently their name is Mike.
Mike Nichols. The actor?
Apparently not.
I'll
Although
take that.
This one's not an actor.
it's making it a lot harder
This
to
one
search.
has been re-imaged to something that has nothing to do, and I have no idea how that could happen.
That re-imaging a computer into a perfectly working copy of Windows that just happens to have no software on it, it's like, how you can possibly do.
But how do you even have permission?
But it's the special ITs on.
I wonder if they were trying to, virtual, like, no class you're doing that open. Yeah, and then they didn't install into the virtual, they installed it to their own machine.
But they still.
I wouldn't think they'd have permission.
If, well,
The only thing I can think of.
but what I don't get is that there's also Conference 4 account on
That makes sense. How do you get a Conference 4 account? I mean, you can make one.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
We realized that you did something else, so you want to try to get it here. So
There's nothing wrong. That doesn't, it just, none of it makes sense.
There's no Windows that old either.
Yeah. There's nothing happening. Weird. Could it have been a really bad day of something? Because the updates have been like a reinstall Windows.
There's a slight possibility of that. Does that have to be a pretty fast update to lose all user files, lose all the programs?
What is the problem?
It's saying this is not a part of the group by the schedule standard. According to this. I don't know why it's having an issue from it.
In theory,
This is, it's from this.
I've heard of.
I'm actually needing a group by.
Wouldn't that be what this is? The bus key?
Right, but I don't know that you need a group by. Group bys are usually for when you have a sum or an average or a count. So when you have an aggregate function, which you don't have, try making it with, don't include the executable. If you include the execute,
It won't run. Right?
well, it actually will keep running and keep running and keep running. Because what happens is when you execute this stored procedure, it executes itself, but over and over again, it creates a recursive thing, and eventually the computer will just crash. Because you're including the execution of the stored procedure inside the stored procedure. It's basically a function executing itself.
This is exactly what was done here.
Well, so it's fine as long as this isn't part of it. That's not part of the stored procedure. That's using the stored procedure, right?
Oh, I see. So this. How is that not the same?
Well, because this is the object. This is the stored procedure object. This is how you access the stored procedure. If you literally get in there, you're saying to the stored procedure that when it itself, and it'll just keep executing.
So there needs to be a. I don't
Well,
see how
they need to
everybody
be.
else
They just
functions.
need to be separate state. This is where you use it. How to go? At least make sure that that's run as a separate state. Stored procedure because, as I said, it would create a.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out, so right now I'm on the total revenue. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, so what is the reason of a fair amount of time, number one?
Yeah. That would be the.
I just want to.
Oh, I know.
Let's get design.
Copy one.
Figure out. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Ideally, what I would like is for people to make groups. And, yeah, I mean, at least start thinking about it. We've got 5 weeks left, so it's not crucial that it be done today. But,
Well, there's 2 group assignments right now that are apparently due on Thursday.
well, those I don't care too much about. It's the presentation that I care about. The groups are not, the only group that has any persistence is the presentation one. The others are one-offs.
I'm just trying to randomly put this together, like just whatever comes in my brain first.
Okay.
So,
Should I do it individually or?
yeah, just do it individually. So, per procedure, this, you said to pass in a driver key in a year.
Yeah,
This is what's the,
the year should be, actually,
I don't know, is it get date or?
if you're passing it in as just the year, do it.
Oh, okay. As select, and I selected the employee key,
Right.
which is gonna be Elise's driver key.
Okay,
And that's gonna be one, his driver key, the driver.
well, so
I could be thinking about this kind of around. This
the
one.
employee key would be different than the,
Oh, I'm sorry, position key.
so this one actually would.
This is supposed to be position key.
Yeah. Well, that could even be employee key, but this one needs to be position key.
They both have.
One day.
So I know that's gonna be one when I pass it in, because that's the key of the
Sure,
driver.
sure.
And then is it the year of employee position date assigned? Is this appropriate to put in here?
Sure, what are we doing? Oh, and the driver.
So it's the,
So I think I actually would pass in the employee key.
Robots are never going to take over the world, Brent.
you told us the total amount earned by a driver in the year, make him start procedure and pass in the year and driver key as a brand.
Right, and I think what I meant by the driver key is actually the employee key.
Because the position key, out of all the positions, number one. is driver.
Yes. So I think I would just do a position key equals 1.
Literally just that. And what would I,
So, so the employee key is for a particular driver.
like as in person, human?
Yeah,
Oh, so I do need employee key.
that's what I'm thinking. I wrote these, and when I look at that, I'm not sure I was real clear about writing them.
Okay. Blakey, and I do here to Blakey here.
Sure,
And then in this one, probably hourly rate paid times 42.
You could do that, or you so I would actually accept that, but you could also figure out how many hours they actually worked from the bus schedule assignment.
Well,
This would be easier.
That's
I think that was from the previous one. That's because you have math.
and so would this be, all right.
So could you do that? Let's see, what did you run it? Let me see. So it's already there. Run the scheme. Just to make sure that it's there. It's already there, so that should work. Let's look at the scheme. That should be some. Should be. If you have a, you don't have an ID, should, it's the same. Or is it info line? Sure. Yeah. So there's a draft. How are you? Yeah, actually, that's one of the, when you get it, you get
Well, no, it doesn't flush it, so. Oh, just, we just need to find the report.
So I could put you early in the event too.
I close this.
I
Yeah,
have to take a quick peek at this.
okay.
It's the same. Flaky.
The year.
It's like flaky year, and I know I can. But I'm gonna leave it. as is
Sure,
right
sure,
now.
that's
From
fine.
the position which is the table, where position key is 1, and year of this is the
Year,
year.
that actually looks
But
good.
look what it's saying, I must declare scalar variable.
Right, so where are you running it from?
From up here,
But they don't have any values yet, right?
so like this.
Well, basically, it's really hard to
So
test
just this,
that.
it is, should I do a,
That looks okay.
oh, I suppose I should. That's not a lot of money.
Um,
Well, look, it's by, because that's weird. Because,
So what have you got? You got employee pay, what's the extra 50? Oh, times a year.
for the year.
I think they actually are paid really well, better than they would be in
Well,
real
what's odd
life.
is.
People that are lawyers and stuff, they're making good money.
Yeah, but it should just driver.
Yeah, true. Yes.
I selected it out. I selected it before to watch driver because you wanted it. That's why I wanted this to be positioned for all
So
drivers, regardless of.
you've got the position. Create the procedure. What is it not like? Must declare scalar year. You did. I'll put a comma after that. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, well, we did the 40.
Okay. Let's give it a year.
You'll step up a notch.
That's right here.
And then, so you'll need to give it an employee.
Like E and then
So not a comma, like the first one, just to say,
like E.
So it pays off, right?
you can try. Yeah, so if it's
And then comma the year.
comma year, and I think there's, I don't know that there's a number 90. Although I don't think it matters.
Do these
I can look and see. You're right.
So I think that the years go from like 2, 12.
seem a little bit more.
Also do a different employee. It's possible that 21 is not a, we aren't that many. Let's look at a, employee position. That's one. So 1 is 1.
1 is 1. 2014, more than one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But really, is that for? No, I'm gonna do this.
How much you said is it? 50? That's actually quite
You know what I'm
nice.
gonna do is,
Well, so you're only doing the wage times 40 cents.
I'm gonna try to do employee number 25 because that's not a driver.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if it fails in 2000.
It should give you just nothing. That's what it should do.
Okay.
Because it's like 170 or.
Oh, give them the identity.
Honestly, I'm doing so many tables I had.
Identity. So get rid of the bus schedules. If you could call it an identity, it's an auto number, so you can't enter it into that field.
Because I put in an additional joint.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say.
So if I want to count the bus, so I use the bus key, right? So I have the bus keys. My basic
What is it, sorry?
field, basic, I create a basic field here. And this assignment kind
Right,
of.
well, I think it's complicated.
That matches.
That's what I'm saying, some of it, how many buses start. Bus
I'm not sure if I can handle this. Oh, well.
Yeah, I looked at the table bus on TV.
I'm trying to make sure that my number matched up somewhat. I joined a telco conference for a month ago.
Oh, I'll tell you, it's, yeah. Well, you have to, let me just see if I can do this. Okay, so it's like, it's just one thing.
Like pick off topic numbers.
But if you look at bus,
Yeah. I mean, Oracle seems like it's like just what I've
Here,
read.
I'm just looking
on
to
stuff.
select
It seems a lot of people use
the
Oracle.
sum, which is the year and the city. The city is one place to stay there. The year is one place to stay there. When you're summing, you go through a bunch of stuff and adding up.
I do not have to answer.
When you go to aggregate together,
Ready to learn.
you have to group by all. Yeah, so this is one city, this is 1 year, this is the sum, the difference, the count, the average, those are all added up.
Yeah, so
Average, I think it's using functions. And so then you have to group by the two
I'm not really concerned about
columns
what's
that are
in Excel, so that's not more concerned about telephone.
the two, yeah, scanners, yeah.
right, so there's a bus stop. All these
You got
buses are bus stops.
So how many of them then?
And just count how many of these buses.
Think bus routes in multiple
So
cities.
what is the?
Okay,
Oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
We're adding, I was like,
Yeah, I got by Matt, run them at all points.
So that.
Yeah, you know what,
Yeah, and you're going.
well, so my city was
well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, to take.
So now.
It almost makes it think it'd be easy to be about the term.
Oh.
So there's
Someone
six buses.
instead of running 20,000 hours.
Key is a location that
Yeah.
has that much
Yes.
buses.
Yeah, I know. I'll be, I can find it for you. I'd say one.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure because the way this is set up, the sub bus route, which it wouldn't count.
I'm not sure why it's saying.
Yeah, but I didn't know if it would count against Seattle.
I go to
Seattle.
Seattle.
I'm not sure where it is.
Because it's a teaching college.
I don't know.
They charge,
I may not be.
I charge, I go $35
I'm not
per
sure if that's
session,
even
it's like an hour or hour and 15 minutes with consultation and everything.
Ah.
You only have 8 hours in the, if you're 15, 20 minutes. But the level that I get is the $35 level. It's called SIOM, SIOM. So it's just orientation.
Right, and it just needs to.
And it's on,
The bus stop purchase price.
each one's down on Ravenna, heading towards the lake. Oh, I think we're just can you just check one thing? I want to see. Go ahead. And then
I'll be right back.
Yeah,
So,
the back, like,
Emmanuel?
where we're going.
that's you.
Have it in, at least one, I'm not even sure when we're gonna go over in the upper room.
Are you thinking Zenland? Is that what you say? Yeah. Or do you say Is that who that? Yeah, ours.
If you go to my,
Oh, you.
Oh, I feel.
Oh, that's you.
I mean, it isn't.
right,
Okay.
Yeah.
so this is a, it's giving you a hint on it. One of the new things that is connected,
Thanks for our, yeah.
you can comment that with a different name and have the index.
Okay, love to.
So, well, the index doesn't exist. So it's suggesting this index. So if you, and then I would do it. So it suggested this index and if you give it a name, yeah. Now I think on YouTube, if you go directly to YouTube, it's hard to do it. I think I just go to so that's the construct that's all we got.
So the projector's on another computer.
It's fine. Take it your account employee. Or are you on? Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or those that
Oh, I've never.
tomorrow,
Thank you. Yay.
okay. Nice to meet you. So. So let's instead of doing. Threshold is 10 writers. I think what I would do, you can't alias it in the equation. Right?
Oh, no.
You can alias. Okay, so let's look at now. Oh, you have to do this in a good price. Well, I'm not sure how those up there, but
sir.
Yeah, in particular, the fair key might give you.
I got it. Thanks.
You know, I've done it many times. As a underline of it. Something about the intelligence of recognize it, but it works. Yeah, I mean, it's not something you're doing. It's
Connect the other tables to it though. That's how
I'll display that to do the connection.
what I have. That out of the select.
You don't have to include everything in the select that you use.
Oh, okay. I didn't recognize that.
So on the last one, think of one or two more views.
I mean, if you go to the city, it's way down at bus stop. And then you can go from there to bus schedule.
Then bus.
So I
Okay,
think,
bus stop city, yeah, and then bus.
so I think the city is at bus stop. I think this is more. And then I think, bus,
Bus road stops, yeah.
because that's where the
Oh,
the
come
route is
on.
connected to the bus stop.
Because that is the bus route key, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can go from there to bus schedule assignment, because the bus route key is in there.
Okay,
And
wow, so
it's 3 tables.
I need to put stuff between the fare and the bus schedule.
Right, and then you need the ridership table to get the numbers. It's hard, it's an insane one. I thought of, when I looked at these, I just said off the top of my head, what kinds of things would I want to see if I was doing reports? I didn't think about how hard they would be to do.
I mean,
And the ridership would be
it's
the,
realistic. People
Yeah.
are like, hey, can you make the database do this? Like, yeah, it'll take a while. but-
Well, if the tables are well constructed, you can do anything. It just may be a pain. What? Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
was spinning forever. It's okay. I mean, I'm just.
Those are just, yeah. That's fine. I think good. Yeah. What I would do, you actually everything in it. So let's see. We have trouble seeing that. I knew you were using your laptop instead of.
I see.
Yeah.
So you can use this table.
So the bus key is in. It's in this. Do that. Bus route. Yeah. So you got the bus stop.
Bus route key. Right? I need a bus route key.
So you need a bus key, a bus route key, and then you have the bus stop.
So it's okay.
So this stops working. All right, so I wanted to log in and log out, actually.
Is the table nothing else?
I think so. I almost have to do it to. Ah.
So the amount a particular bus goes driving is related to a schedule assignment.
Yeah, yeah. Bus schedule assignment date, and inside the bus schedule assignment, there's attached to the route in a bus.
Bus route key short stop. I don't need that. Bus route stop schedule, I don't need that. Bus route stop.